How's it going, Scorpio community? Now you know who it is. It's Soul Tigers with a special story for this wonderful frequency. First off, thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience as I navigate this story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Now, keep in mind that this is a safe and sacred space where we call in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energies to come on in and be the guides and protectors for all the positive messages that are going to come out. Now, with that all being said, remember that this is not love tarot here. This channel is geared around self-empowerment. What that means is building the stepping stones for us to get closer to our soul beings, which helps align us with a higher power, higher energy. So, Scorpio, let's get started with your vibe. Oh man, it was kind of hard to navigate your vibe. I'm not gonna lie. Feeling down and sad, not sure what to do from here. What's really going on here, Scorpio? What seems like one thing actually may be another thing? Be careful with jumping to conclusions at this time, Scorpio. It's time to learn how to see the light, even though you feel like you're only in the dark. Now, you have to be careful, Scorpio, when it comes to navigating what you think versus what you think they feel. That means there's a lot of assumption going on because you're not whoever they are. Only they know how they feel. I mean, we can assume, we can use our gifts, but at the end of the day, Scorpio, sometimes people have certain emotions cloaked in other emotions. It's like when a person's angry all the time, and they could be angry all the time because they're really, really sad. So just be careful with you overusing your gifts and only relying on that truth. Again, there could be a level that you don't know that's going on here. There could be a root of something that you're not aware of that is the root. This may be the time to protect your resources. Are we kind of within an enabling energy right now, Scorpio? Could this be involving us enabling somebody else? Finding the reasons why you keep circling around this energy. Whatever the root of this is, it has you going rounds and rounds in your head about your beliefs only. And many a times I have to tell y'all, Scorpios, that air stuff, that's not where you find your best alignments. Your best alignments come from how you feel, what you're feeling. You get lost when it comes to trying to just reside in the thoughts here because you are very sensitive. And sometimes we forget that this brain here is a part of this vessel. All right. So our brain can only interpret so much that is seen, felt with the senses of this vessel in this 3D experience. To reach beyond that, you got to use that spiritual being. You also got to use the gifts of how you can navigate what you're feeling. Because again, those are all vibrations that you are picking up in a different way. And it's not just with the physical senses, I would say. You really have fallen for the potential of an outcome. And I'm wondering if that here, Scorpio, is the root. There's a potential, maybe there's an expectation that you have for a certain outcome. Maybe if you figure you work at it and you work at it and you work at it, it's going to happen. Something's going to finally click. That doesn't always happen. And you have to be careful with those expectations. You have to be careful with wanting to maneuver things in life to get to those expectations. This is why there could be that enabling energy here. All right. Sometimes when we enable others, person, places, or things, then we don't let them get the full experience of their journey. I know we want to see a lot of people do better, but just think about how much you had to learn on your life's journey in order to do better for yourself. And it wasn't because somebody was behind you picking up all your messes. It was because you had to learn how to pick up your messes too. And then you had to learn from that. So just keep that in mind, Scorpio. Let's go ahead and get started with the introduction with the Cosmic Insight Oracles. Oh my goodness, there's a lot coming out, Scorpio, so let's be prepared, okay? I love my Scorpios. Your guys' energy is just so beautiful. Don't forget that. Remember, I describe a lot of Scorpion energy as the guardian angel energy. So let's get started. Manifesting. Tell the universe exactly what you want. Again, I feel like there's a lot of that confusion there on what you want, what you believe. If you can have it. If it's meant for you. Oh, be careful, because chasing something else puts us in a totally different direction than where we may need to go, Scorpio. Something you're not seeing. I have a divorce here. Experiencing a breakup. Something you don't want to see. Something you don't want to accept. And it could be having a parting. Could be a parting that's coming up. But something's not working here. Something's not coming together anymore. Oh, wow. Confession. Someone has to tell you something. With that in reverse, I feel like there's a Scorpio here who knows something's happening. They know which way they should go, but they want confirmation. It's like they want somebody to tell them the truth. Communication. Compromise, forgive, work out. I think you don't see this communication because it's not going to come in. Whatever you want, look at, see, I have that at the bottom. Whatever you're looking for with this other energy that you could be enabling, The very reason that you need to finally say enough is enough, I don't think it's going to come through. I don't think the divine is going to let you off of that. This lesson, whatever it has to do with, very easily. Remember your house, 8th house transformation through relationships. With the new moon here, again, it's about what we believe, what we tell ourselves, how we get in touch with the higher energy from within, from what we feel from our soul being, not from what we think. This is why you got to do a deep soul searching within yourself about what's going on and what you're actually feeling here, Scorpio. And then moving from there is into the full moon energy, starting to take care of yourself. Because what I hear is this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt a little. You may need to get away. You may need to stretch your legs. You will be traveling soon. I feel like you may need to just get away to clear your head. They'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. I mean, if you're afraid everything's going to hit the fan when you go, and whatever's not going to be there, this is saying that this is always going to be there. If they know that they can lean on you to enable them, that you're always going to show up to save the day, whether it's person, place, or thing, oh, they'll always be there. They will always be there because they're always gaining from you. They're never losing from you. I had this one situation with this one person. No, actually, I've had many situations with a person or places where we try and hang on. I tried to hang on because I seen the potential. But eventually I had to get in touch and just see that none of it was going anywhere. And that in order for me to do anything else, to get anything else, I had to let it go. And we do get faced with personal relationships where we can love somebody so much that it's hard to let them go. It's hard to give up on them. Same with businesses. We can love our career so much that it's hard to give up on this business. We could love our clients so much, our co-workers so much, that it's hard to give up. But what you don't see, and this is the image that I see with this energy, whatever you're dealing with, is it's literally the ball and chain that's around your ankle. And the longer that you deal with it, the heavier that ball gets, the bigger the chain gets. The less you're able to move around and do other things. The more you become constricted and focus on whatever this is. That's not good for you. That is not good for you. You gotta have a life outside of this too. You gotta feel like you can be able to do stuff outside of this without there being repercussions and then you blaming yourself because you wasn't there. You got to be careful with that. Remember, we are not here to save others from their free will. We're not. And that is a higher up message. Their free will is their choice. Their soul contracts are stuff that they've signed up for even before, they met up with you in this lifetime. Maybe there's an extended contract that you guys have had through a few lifetimes, but you got to understand they got their own set of rules, their own set of life game, whatever you want to call it, their own set of tasks I should say, in this game of life that they have to go through in order for them to spiritually evolve. And their task may not be the same as your task. Just keep that in mind. All right. So let's go ahead into the present. Angels, 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 spirit guides, divine. What is it that needs to come out for the present? Yeah, we're really juggling stuff here with this Two of Pentacles. We're juggling if they'll be back. We're juggling this parting. There's a real insecurity here that you really don't have whatever this is. Then I have this 12, sacrifice, the Hanged Man, Pisces energy. Stuck on one way of viewing this, and it could be against the beliefs here. Then we have this Prince of Cups. Prince of Cups we're going to take to the Page of Cups. I feel like you're always trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. What I get is always you try and have a fresh view with them when you interact with them daily. Almost like you kind of ignored their actions from the day before. Got 3 things here you're not seeing. So when we say actions of the day before, it could be their sheer arrogance with this King of Swords in reverse. Sheer arrogance of wanting to do something different. They don't want to do something different. I should say the sheer arrogance of them not wanting to do something different. And always wanting to do the same thing, but never seeing how the same thing always ends up the same way with this Devil card here. But this is temptation. Then we have this Balance. I feel like you're their guardian angel. Whatever this place is, whatever this person is, this thing is, I see that you are the glue that keeps this person together. What else needs to come out? Oh, look at you. Y'all have some history. You in this place, this person, this thing have some history. Known them for a while. Could even be since the school days. Can I get a clarity card for the Justice card? Clarity card for the Justice card. So this clarity card for the Justice here falls onto the Hangman. Into the ignorance of this other. Has to do with the Empress. This is you. Creative, personal growth, and self-development. Success brings freedom, material comfort, security, protection, wealth, and may separate you from your roots and sense of self. You spend too much time indoors. Get out more. Sexual pleasure, fertility, excellent physical condition and health. Loving relationship between mother and child. So what you're not seeing with that Empress coming out like that, because like I said, this is you trying to do so much for this energy. Trying to be so much, trying to keep them together. Remember, you're the glue that's holding them together. But on the other side of it, I feel like you don't see how much this affects your Empress energy. How much this affects your health, your creative energy. Maybe even relationships nurturing relationships that you have around you. I mean, you could be finding a lot of people who are not understanding what you're doing with this, why you're still dealing with this. And it could really make you feel a type of way to where you question if that other really understands you, if they really care about you, because you feel like they're not understanding you. There's definitely a certain pleasure that you get with the situation that you keep coming back for as well. But whatever this is, the stress from this situation is one of the things that is affecting your health. Now remember that all these stories are for entertainment purposes. Always seek out professional help for anything that's going on. Alright, so back to the story. Yeah, that's pretty common. That is pretty common. You know what's a good test is when you're running under a lot of stress with whatever this is, start to look at your body within 8 hours of taking in that higher stress. Then look at your body the next day. You may be faced with more soreness. You may be faced with more stomach pains. I'm seeing hair. Something could be affecting your hair to where it could be thinning quicker for some reason. You're noticing more headaches. That could be something as well. You're more tired. That could be something as well. Again, you have to remember to take care of yourself. This is a big thing this time around. It's not just this time around. It's actually the universe and divine trying to get everyone to isolate a new routine into this coming season here, into taking care of yourself so that you can learn something more about yourself. So by the time the fall comes in, you are harvesting from moving so much forward, from being able to process things. You're growing, you're evolving. That's the name of the game there. That is the name of the game. Self-empowerment to get to the goal of that spiritual evolvement. Woohoo! Maybe it has to do with how people look at you. Look at that. I got the Lovers card here. I feel like with the Six of Staves coming out onto the Lovers card that we're not seeing, there's something here that you really want. Something here that you really want to be around you when it comes to this other energy. This has to do with, again, what you're thinking, what you're communicating, what you're trying to communicate to others. It's almost like getting to a certain age and seeing that you don't have the house and the white picket fence, and you thought you were supposed to have it by now. So now you're looking to whatever this is to try and make it happen. It's like, say, being in your 30s and you having this idea you were supposed to be more established in your career. So what you're doing is you're dealing with something that is draining that passion for your career in a sense. But you're doing it to put up with it, to try and have that expectation that you have for yourself at this age that you're at now. Oh, that's a hard one. That is a hard one, and I will say that's a hard one because it's really hard to navigate certain successes at this time for a lot of us. It's hard to understand how to invest in stuff like that, how to get to those outcomes, the ideal expectations for us, especially whatever this expectation. I feel like it's for the age of this Scorpio. There's a big expectation that by now something was supposed to be more solidified, something was supposed to be a little bit more successful. And I feel like it has to do with another, whether it's another, and it has to be something that's close with this other person, place, or thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. As a single, never married woman, I feel that. I'm 38 years old and never been married. And I don't have a white picket fence. And I can totally feel that. And when I really am feeling this energy from you, Scorpio, I really feel like you, if you sit with yourself and you think about it, it brings you to tears. It hurts that none of this is happening for you yet. It hurts that you feel like, what is that? You're chasing a wild goose that you can never catch. Why, I would have to ask you, why does this wild goose deem your success? Why do you still have to chase this wild goose? There's other things out there we can go for. There's other ways, other things that we can explore besides just chasing this one wild goose. You forget, Scorpio, that in this vast world, there are hundreds of thousands of millions of other businesses out there. There are billions of other people out there. Do you know how many opportunities that creates just by having that much out there? A lot of us don't think of it that way. A lot of us think of it more in a singular kind of form, more always just looking at everything with a microscope, just really, really close, really close. Give me. So sometimes what happens is, Scorpio, you get a hold of something because you have your claws here. This is where you're like the Cancerian. You get a hold of it and you hold it and you hold it and you hold it. Sometimes it may be better, maybe in your best interest to let it go. But for some reason you don't. And you'll hold it and you'll hold it. And what happens is you'll hold it and you'll only look at it from that really close view that you have of it. And what that does is it makes it a bigger issue for you, again, because it's so close to you. If you were to let it go and you were to move yourself in a different area, different spot, then you would see it differently. You could see that it's not as big of a deal as what you were thinking it was. But because you had it so close and so focused on it, it seemed like it was so much more bigger than what it was. Again, whatever we tell ourselves enough, we will believe. You have to be careful with that, because we can end up fooling ourselves. If you want to understand a little bit more of this new moon in Pisces and the full moon in Virgo, don't forget to go check out that new moon, full moon interpretation. Because transcendence is the energy that Pisces brings in. Transcendence is energy that is outside of this physical body, reaching into the mysticism. Mysticism, all that steps out of just the intellectual mind. Again, back into the energy that we harbor within that is connected to that higher source. So right here, I think you're going to learn, if you choose to, navigate this a little bit differently. And that's navigating it to where you start to go to yourself to take care of yourself, opposed to always running to whatever this is, trying to keep them together. Because I even feel like, Scorpio, what I'm seeing is you'll even take a few pieces off of yourself to glue onto them to make sure they're all nice and whole. And this is that self-sacrificing energy. This is that guardian angel energy too. But I don't know guardian angels to ever self-sacrifice. And when I say that out loud, I just see the heads moving in a no kind of direction when I say that. Because you have to remember, guardian angels have to show up to the fullest. And if they're self-sacrificing, they can't show up to the fullest. Whew. Let's go ahead, speaking about angels, let's call in those angels of protection. Angels of protection, as we go off into this plot, can you help protect us as we navigate what is going on within this block for the Scorpio community? What is it that needs to come out? Six of Cups again. Talks about people that we've known for a long time. You are emotionally entrapped somehow by this person. You've trapped yourself, but you don't see it. You see that it's by this person. This could be having a lot of love goggles on, seeing the potential of something, seeing that it can be so fulfilling. What else needs to come out? Oh, yep. That 10 of Cups lands on that 6 of Staves. Remember, I was telling you that 6 of Staves is what you want around you. What you want is the fulfillment. You want a 10 of Cups. You want that happy ever after with this person. But they're not giving it. Somehow it's not being received yet with this person, place, or thing. And you don't understand it. You don't understand why. Why can't I have my wish fulfillment here? Why? Why can't they just see I'm here for them? Why can't this business get it that I really, really, really want to work hard? What more work do I need to show them? How much more? How much more do I gotta show them? How else can I show them? Because again, I put this Prince as the page. And for me, again, you're trying to basically show them an uncorrupt kind of thing. You're trying to show them a true fullness of loyal dedication, what hard work is when it comes to somebody who cares about something. Then I have this Three of Swords. With the Three of Swords, as I see a Scorpio breakdown. I see them really sad. Because in a sense, they know what's going on with this person, place, or thing. And it's easier to try and ignore it and try to keep gluing them back together than it is to confront it. If they confront it, that means they're going to be left out on their own. That's what they feel like. And what I see is just like something just kind of crumbling here. But you're not seeing this. You're not seeing how this energy makes you irritable. Again, how it could be bringing on tension, headaches. Again, I got a lot going on with the head. You could be even having more TMJ dysfunction going on. Wear your mouth guard. Wear your mouth guard. But there's just a lot of negative blocked energy that is happening here in the head region. Again, it could be headaches. It could be that your hair is starting to thin. It could be unable to concentrate on things. It could be that your mind is overly racing so much. And again, it could be irritability. But it's due from the stress of all of this. Running from the truth of it. Seeing that here, whatever this is not going to get you your success. That's going to be a hard one. That is going to be a hard one. The hardest things to do are to walk away from things. To walk away from a place you really care about because it's no good for you. To walk away from a person that you deeply love, that you put so much time, effort into. A person that, you know, you gave all your love to, then some, just to wake them up, just to show them that somebody cares, you know, just to show them that they could be everything that you see that they can be. That's really hard. That is really hard right here. How do you just let it go? How do you just walk away? How do you not show up anymore? That is really hard. It's not an easy one. It is not an easy one. If you really have a hard time thinking about this, Scorpio, I would seek out professional help, a counselor, a therapist, a mentor, somebody in your community who you view as emotionally balanced, who's not just going to tell you what you want to hear, but somebody who's not going to bulldoze you with their opinion. You need somebody to listen to you. You need to validate yourself because you haven't been listening to yourself. So opening up and letting out. But again, it has to be with somebody in your community that you know that's just going to listen to you and not tell you about yourself, not tell you about the enabling energy that, you know, that's been put out for this other person, place, or thing. But you just need somebody to listen and to give you an experienced outlook. Somebody who's kind of lived it a little bit. But not tell you how to feel. That's one thing, is not tell you how to feel. Getting a journal and journaling out, but I really feel like you need to talk to somebody. You gotta let it out. You've been bottling it up for a long time, Scorpio. For a really long time. We have the 7 of Cups. One of the things that really gets to you, it's been a long time. It's been a while that you've been dealing with this. It's been a while, not that you've been dealing with this, but that you've been pursuing it. It's been a while. How do you just stop? How do you just let go? How do you just not do it? That's hard. It's one day at a time. But again, it's going to come at the expense of you doing something different. A new routine for yourself. And again, that's that full moon energy. That full moon in Virgo talks about taking care of ourselves. And the time that you would run around putting this person back together, you can actually find time to start putting yourself back together. Exploring yourself, learning something new about yourself. But the thing is, if you choose to face this, then you're going to elevate yourself. You're going to spiritually evolve yourself. And it comes to the expense of your standards, but also the value that you have for yourself. And being able to sit comfortably with just yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and into the conclusion. Divine and universal energy. What is it that you would like to bring out for the conclusion for the Scorpio energy? I feel like you get this a lot and you're always at odds ends with it. Surrender. Surrender, surrender, surrender. Let's see if I can get that focus. There we go. Surrender to the divine. As much as you don't want this to work out the way it's going to work out, it's supposed to. This is going to hurt, but it's a part of your 8th house energy transformation through relationships. It's also part of that Piscean energy, ending old cycle to prepare for new. And the Virgo energy of self-examination and improvement. What you don't see is this. A personal issue reaches resolution. Another thing that you're not seeing that you're at odds ends with is communication is key. I feel like that's that communication that you have with the divine, with the light, seeing the light in the darkest of times kind of thing. And you see that light through taking care of yourself. This personal issue, I feel like that goes to whatever you're hanging on to. Whatever that specific reason, I feel like it has to do with a timeline thing for you, Scorpio. You expect to be somewhere certain by this age, by this time. And because it hasn't worked out, again, it really pulls at you. But just know, honestly, and I say this more and more often, to validate people. And it's not just to sit on the dark side of things. It's like to be real. Life is hard. Life is hard, and it's nothing like what it was when we were growing up. Relationships don't even operate the same as what we grew up in. People, the way people date, the way people look at each other, the way people communicate with each other is not the same. And because of this new evolvement of behavior with the social media and these cell phones, it's really complicated things when it comes to connecting with people, or even disconnecting and moving on from people, places, or things. So this is where it's just one step at a time, and learning a routine of taking care of ourselves, which empowers ourselves. If you got good communication between both sides of yourself, Scorpio, then you're not going to always run to put others together. Again, because you're going to be busy and focused on doing other things, and that might be evolving yourself. Again, it's not your job to keep putting people together. It's not your job to enable them, because all that happens is they don't get to the lessons on their path. They don't get to the spiritual involvement in the ways that the divine has lined up for them, but also in whatever contracts that they've signed when it comes to their soul contracts. So be careful when you're trying to work against divine kind of stuff, the bigger picture of things, because you will be left chasing your tail. All right, let's get a few more cards here. Almost done. A time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. It's time. It's time to do for you a little bit more. And I don't mean just running from one task to another. No, I mean actually sitting down and doing something for yourself. I know you want to go run and put that person together, but let them. They dug their hole. They sowed their own mess. They're going to reap what they sow. They're going to reap the hole that they dug. You have to let them, because they have to get sick and tired of it. So how can you take care of yourself? Because you know what? A lot of us don't think about it this way. When we start taking care of ourselves, it starts to lead an example for others. Time to step out of your comfort zone. That's that South Node energy. You've been here. You know what it's about. You've become an expert in it. Now it's time to head off into the North Node, where you're meant to explore the very area that's supposed to help you spiritually evolve. And again, that starts with taking care of yourself. That starts with you putting yourself together and not self-sacrificing yourself for others. For others who don't want to get it. For others who are not wanting to evolve. Something you are confused on and you're not seeing is it's time, Scorpio. It's time for healing. It is time to go within. It's time to really ask yourself, what are your dreams? What are your desires? Validating that that is okay to have. It's still okay to dream about, say, that white picket fence outcome, but it's not going to be right here, right now. That's something that you have to work to. And maybe when you start to do this new routine of taking care of yourself, surrendering that the divine got this, that the divine is leading this dance so that you can get to what you really want. It may not be with this person, place, or thing. It may be with something, some person, some place that's totally different. But you have to get through this muck first. You have to realize that your validation doesn't come through taking care of others and trying to keep others together. Your validation comes through you taking care of yourself. You build up that value in yourself. You build up that value. You build up your boundaries when you start to do that. And then when anything of wanting to take from you type of energy comes in, you already know to sidestep it. You know to keep your gate closed to it, because that's not where you want to be. Where you want to be ideally was with another person, place, or thing that's going to meet you. That's going to meet you right there, eye to eye. That's going to bring in what you're bringing in. Could you imagine if you had that? Could you imagine what it would be like to be with a person, place, or thing that you don't have to keep putting together? Somebody who is responsible, a place that has it together, a place that wants its employees, to be supported. A partner that wants to support you, not just resources, but emotionally, mentally, and physically. It's going to be a total opposite. It's going to be stepping out of that dark into the light, but it's right now finding that inner light while you're navigating this dark to get you through this path to where you want to be in the light. All right, this is going to conclude it, or I'm going to keep rambling, Scorpio community. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming in. And I hope that you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.